How's it going? So what kind of wood is Diggler going to play with today? Well, today I've got a bowl that I rough turned this past summer. It is a Portuguese Laurel. Now the wood has some really nice color to it. You can see some oranges in there, some lighter colors in there, whatever. Almost like a spalt line in that top corner as well. And as it was drying though, it did crack. So it has, well, kind of a couple little minor cracks. What I've done is I've just shoved some 5-minute epoxy in there to see if it holds up. I don't really work with epoxies themselves, but the 5-minute epoxy, shove it in the crack. Let's see what it does. So today, let's get it finished turned. Let's see how it turns out. And yeah, let's see what happens. Let's get busy. So here I'm going to use a 5/8 inch bowl gouge or 16mm bowl gouge. Now that is the size of the shaft on the bowl gouge, and the grind that I'm using is a 55°. So it would be an Ellsworth grind, and I love this grind, and this is by far my favorite gouge to use. Once I've got it to where I'm happy with the shape, I will turn the bowl gouge around and use a shear scrape to take out any of the tool marks that I have in it. And you can see it does a really good job of it. And here you can see what I was talking about on the cracks that I have in it and where I filled them with epoxy. I probably should have put some dye possibly in the epoxy to make it pop a little bit better, but it is what it is. When I do my sanding, I like to use an angle drill. I use a cordless angle drill with a 3-inch pad and 3-inch mica paper because I find it works really well. It doesn't clog. And here's a tip for anybody using mica paper. Take a Sharpie, write on the back the grit that it was, because as you use it, the numbers will wear off really quickly, and then you'll be wondering what grit it was, especially when you have something like 120 and 180. They look and feel pretty close to the same. Also, something else I like to do, and you'll see it here in a second, is for my final sand, I like to use Scotch-Brite pads. I find that they do a really nice job. They clean it up so well. Now it's off to the inside of the bowl. Just like with every bowl, what I like to do is I like to run down the side, but I'll only go a certain depth, and then I'll get the wall thickness to where I want it at the rim. Then I'll start working my way down towards the bottom of the bowl to get a consistent thickness, as you can see here in a second. I also do use a set of calipers to check to see if I've got a consistent thickness, because my fingers, well, they're just not accurate enough. Plus, I'm pretty picky. So I'd love to hear some feedback from all the people that watch this video. And what do you guys use for tools to turn with? Do you use carbide? Do you use traditional? What grinds do you like? How do you do your initial cuts, your roughing, your finishing? Leave me a comment down below. Now, if you haven't done so, I'd really appreciate if you guys subscribe to my channel, like the video, and toss a comment down below. It does help me out a lot, and it also helps getting the video noticed by other people as well. So I'm not the best with bowl gouges by any means, so what I like to do to clean up the bottom of the bowl, or the inside of the bowl I guess you could say, is I like to use a scraper, and I'll run a really thin pass, as you can see by how fine the shavings are coming off, just to clean up the inside and get rid of any of the tool marks that was left over from the bowl gouge. Here's another tip, and I do this a lot on cutting boards. If I have a very fine crack that I can see, or a spot that I missed in a cutting board, like a small little void in between one of the gaps, is I'll put some glue into the small crack or the void. I'll press it in as hard as I can, then I'll use a sander, whether it be the random orbital or in this case the drill, and just start sanding it. What's going to happen is all the sawdust is going to go into the glue, and with the sanding it is going to harden because it's kind of cauterizing it, you could say. You'll see in a second what I mean. The other thing I'll do on the inside is I will switch over to a 2-inch foam pad and still use a 3-inch piece of paper. And as you can see in this part of it, it does go into tighter areas a lot easier than a 3-inch would. Again, for my last pass, I will run a piece of Scotch-Brite on the 2-inch pad and do it as a cleanup pass. It does a really nice job, and you can see it almost starts to polish it as it gets going. So for a finish, I like to use tried and true original. I find it works really well. It gives it a nice finish, and all it is Danish oil and beeswax. To apply it, you just put it on like the directions would tell you to, in a very thin amount. Let it sit for about an hour, and then wipe the excess off. Then you're going to want to let it sit for 24 hours and use some sort of a cloth, or what they suggest is 4/0 steel wool to polish it. So a lot of people use stuff like jam chucks and stuff like that to remove tenons. I like to use coal jaws. For me, it's just, I don't know, everybody has their own thing, and that's what I like to use. I find it works really well. There'd be a little bit of sanding, of course, because, as I said, I'm not probably the best with a bowl gouge, but I do enjoy wood turning. It's probably one of my favorite things to do, and honestly, a little bit of sanding doesn't really hurt anybody, does it? And there you have it. So what do you think? Diggler out.